some slack here. I feel like it's very tenuous of a link, but yeah, it's a weird play. It's certainly not something we've seen before on ride wraps from teams on the southwest.
Yeah, I think getting over towards Ryan is probably the best idea, and then you can wrap down towards DRX's position, potentially take some high ground for yourself, but it does depend on this next circle, right? Because if it does shift down towards the southwest here, like you're looking at test track, you're looking over towards that hillside in the west, but it doesn't happen. We head over towards Sing. I think that this is actually fairly rough in terms of position of play. And GS though, still going strong versus Kike here. This fight has raged on for quite some time.
It shows no signs of slowing either. D3S wants to hop out with the auto shot. Wow. Doesn't find the first, the second, not so lucky, but there is still that trade around corner. Actually, only one player now remaining for Geek, I think. No, sorry, for GS, just Jafar. He's been in these spots before. We saw it against APG down in the C block fight that we saw in match 2 yesterday. But now he needs to find Kevin on the corner. The recall beacon just outside is beckoning, but he needs to get through this hurdle first. Kevin's running low on ammo, but he has got the other weapon in the back pocket.
Nice.
Change control, and especially Mad Bull's putting them in the ditch.
I mean, I don't know how long Mad Bull survives here. I mean, they've smoked out as much as possible, but even so, that's a little bit tough. Now we're looking over to R8 though, on that southeast side, and get caught off guard by Regnum Kaya. There are shots coming through.
And there's the trade. Loxy looks for a second and finds it. The backline now down to 1. Just a tanky there, looking for the shots. Does manage to clock Silas, looking for... Now Loxy getting backed off the angle. Might be more worthwhile to just send your 3 players away, not try and spend that time, because look at this approach. I mean, the tanky's managed to make it to a rock miraculously here for Orangutan. See if he could survive and out in just one of their 3 days.
Nice
shot. Turn up. Silas was picked up, but maybe not for too much longer as he's crawling back behind the deployable cover there. Looking for another res. They are in this zone. Virtus Pro might try and put them out of it though.
You can see their VP looking to try and push further up. These nades are getting very close. There's a good chunk of damage. I think the Regnum guy is kind of lucky that they don't lose conservative now going into these final moments. Good shot over towards Ulf as well from Regnum guy in the midst of all that, by the way. I don't know where that came from.
Barrel getting a little dry now. Sighting wants to peek over the top, but you know how dangerous the hump of this bridge is. It's just so easy. He's going to be able to do it, though. Not quite connected through the smoke. 2 players run around behind, and a nice little flex out for Thunder that much. We'll see if they're able to find it. Doesn't look like they will. Maybe a little bit of time for Thunder to play with. Amori now the last player for R8. Joker steps up. He's not going to find it. Another player goes down. Sakura falls. Tony K as well. This hole has just been a blast. A little assist from Ulf on the off angle. But how has he survived that? What a hold on the now into placement point territory. See if Ulf can survive on this push. They were able to defend against the Wolves. Regnum Kaya might be too
circle and doing fantastically at it. They've already put in a lot of damage over towards Ulf and probably limited a lot of the supply.
Orangutan there, and they will not be able to survive into the later portions of this game. Thundertalk make it across, and they will be able to do so with 2 players. They still got a backstop to deal with, and a player knocked as well. That just came through as a res, so they're up as 4 once more, but can the other 2 rejoin?
This is great damage coming through from Sing right now. They have to drop down the tactical covers, try and keep themselves up, but a double in the back line will take down 2. Sighting walks straight past the nade there, takes it on the shoulder, and Doc now has to do the impossible.
With only 1 player standing, Doc needs to come up big for them to survive for a longer into this match. Another nade put on top. It's going to keep the pressure on, but the res is going through all this while. In the meantime, over the northwest side, Virtus Pro and Regnum Kaya starting to pop off. And it's Regnum Kaya to hold their nerve. Only 1 knock seen, and nobody's in a position to capitalize because Ulf are more preoccupied on the south. Them done and dusted. Regnum Kaya on the north edge. Look at it, still shots flying their way.
I mean, for Regnum Kaya, though, it has been a hell of a day for them already. Loxy does
claim ignoring them. It's all or nothing. Ulf have found an aid from somewhere. They've been able to pick one up from a box, but catch. He's going to be dropped down by King, and the 4 players from Thundertalk trying to take down the off angles from Ulf as Silas actually gets spotted. Nice. He would have gone down if they hadn't have taken King out on that spray. Oh, they're regretting that decision now. Thundertalk, though, mounting the pressure. Regnum Kai, I think they were up on 12 elims. We'll see if they can get a couple more, because Eren not going to be able to defend in the face of the onslaught from Thundertalk. Zedwolf breaking out wide, and the two-piece here for Regnum Kaya needs to be impeccable.
I mean, I don't think it's possible. With all these nades available for Thundertalk, it is going to be so difficult. You know generally where they're coming from. Thundertalk looking to take yet another game in their favor. Zedwolf and Wild will have to pull out something extraordinary here if they want to win on the side, but them using this little cliff towards their western edge, their advantage. Now it is Wild in this 1v4.
Oh, they isolate it. They all move up. They get one. Wild looking for the spray. You're right. He's managed to get two here. Maybe able to give them the slip. This is the final zone. It closes central. Wild, if he can hold a central position for just long enough, maybe the blue zone will put too much of a hurry up on these reses. Zedwolf does get flushed away, but a 1v4, I just don't think so. Wild looks for more on the angle. King steps up for the
game yesterday. They win this one. Is that a team that is also causing you issues? Maybe going into Erangel?
Ronaldo Thundertalk güzel oynadı dün de bugün de. Sizi zorluğa çektirdi. Gelecekte çıkarabilecek mi daha?
Yani havaya alışmak, ilk gün havaya alıştık diyelim. İkinci günde çok fazla, yani bugün çok zorluk çekeceğimizi sanmıyorum. Bugün daha çok alışacağız, sonraki gün daha çok alışacağız. Finale çıkarsak da tam bir şekilde hakkını vereceğiz.
Yesterday it took us to get used to the rondo, but right now we will practice more onto it and make it better. And if we can make it to final, we will redeem it.
All right. Well, I'm hoping the performance here in Erangel coming up is going to be good. Back to you guys.
He goes, Oz only have the pump shotgun, gets a little bit of damage done, but there isn't any backup right now, which is not ideal. Luckily able to find one with the angle off on the side from Coops, and that's Revo going down, now just Obscure remaining as they all crash into this one. This should be a quick cleanup for them. But yeah, where most teams are going to make that cheeky rotate through. So
blank, it's Thundertalk on the North Bridge, and Orangutan are going to be holding them out. The circle goes still towards Gike's favor on that observatory mountain. But let's take a look at this bridge camp, because the health bars on Thundertalk are going to be low here. They step out, and immediately the first goes. The next as well, looking for the spray down. The backup from across the way as well is good. Two players now stand for Thundertalk, and the blue zone is hurting.
I think the craziest thing about this is that OG expects the team to be rotating at stage 4 into the circle on the eastern side. I mean, it's a great pickup. It really, really is. But fantastically done. I mean, Aru's on the ball here, waiting for Thundertalk to approach, and that is the top squad going down to one player from OG. Very, very well played. And now they can. OG has a huge amount of control over the north. Doc moves up, does get shut down by Mad Bulls, but R8 is still having presence within this engagement. Reefers seems to be the last player alive here for APG. The DPS should do the trick. Need to be able to get into the circle and then find themselves a strong position off the back of that as well. The question is whether R pulls down just a little bit. Another one goes through. More damage on towards OG now. One player fairly low in Aru. And R8 can maybe leverage this, but a good off angle right now from OG is keeping them at bay.
Oh, another nade, another knock. There's no punishment really being seen in return. Finally, Marth goes down. There was a third party as well, I think from Gike on the high ground to take a shot over towards one of the players from OG who has now been flushed away. Trying to flex out. This is where the off angle from Prestige really needs to come in clutch, stopping this fight. The smoke's over the ridgeline. They want to keep this momentum going, but R8 back off the angle. The nade's not quite connecting where they need to. Mars potentially? No, it goes too long. The cook not quite right there, but that one's good. A tanky sends it back his way. And Aru again, so low, but not going down just yet.
That is a cracking grenade from Amori over the top towards WizGod, who's trying to get that off angle towards them. They've laid the smokes down, trying to keep R8 back at this point in time, give them the heavy hand. But right now, it's just not working out. WizGod likely to go down. Finally, Prestige enters the fray.
Moves in from that off angle. That might actually give OG an opportunity here, but another flush comes through, and R8 now into a 2 versus 4 in their favor. A tanky needs something big, but he only gets one. There is no answer from the backline, unfortunately. Aru out in the open, caught.
Deny that from Kara. They sort of need to finish this game out with a chicken dinner if they want to have a decent performance off the back of this one. Otherwise, it is just sort of another meh game back in their pocket.
I mean, he's got 3 more nades, but finally someone takes a look out his way, and that is going to be the shutdown. And DXavier will fall finally. 5 teams now remaining. Crucially, Amori got flushed out on that situation, could not make it any further. I'm surprised there's still nades in the pockets for R8, but they've got at least 1 more here. And they want to try and find the opening of the wall, or moved out a little bit. They're kind of allowing ground here, a little bit. Maybe timid, cowards. No, definitely not. That's a bit too much. But I mean, it should be there. DRX are going to have to go for that res, and that might allow Kara even more leeway. CEO's getting up to the wall now. Things are starting to get a little bit dicey as R8 have the pressure of the blue zone pushing up towards them. This is the final zone blank, and it will close dead center on this one. It does go inside the wall, which means that Kara will have to cross that boundary if they want to win this one out.
Yeah, I think that they hope during that knock, I mean, 2 angles is all that DRX has there because one's taken up on the res, that they could finish out this fight as quickly as possible. The blues being a big issue. CEO, another nade goes slightly far, bobbles just a little bit too much. That's a wild nade coming through, goes straight out to the outer edge of the zone, but smokes is all that's in the way between Kara and...
Kaisei flexes out to the wall there. The angle spotted though, and a nade immediately put towards his feet, and he has to dance out the way. DRX starting to get low on nades. They've only got 7 left. R8 are up to the wall as well. They've allowed the entrance to move on in. R8 will go down, but it's Kara to do the dirty, and they will find 2 more eliminations on their tally. A big nade from CEO. Will there be an answer from DRX? They're allowing this to go through, and the smokes there covering so much of their sightline.
I mean, the big difference right now is Kara is incredibly hot coming into this engagement, whereas DRX feeling very cold off this game. They've not done too much. It's the 4v3 and the 19 elims on this game for Kara. The Crows are flying strong here, but they take initial knock. They're trying to get the damage done. Hyunbin alive for the time being. The bullet scraping his backpack.
Not quite able to finish the job though. They swap over to the next vehicle, and it leaves Poser as a solo. DRX finally able to keep themselves standing. Hyunbin gets the res. 1 knock is all they'll find, and Kara denied the 20-point Ilium game. They will go down in 2nd place. DRX able to overall.
But we are heading over towards the eastern edge of
a little bit split. They've got a backstop there for Solus trying to regroup. Regnum Kaya clashing with DRX on the inside of a compound. But you've got Ulf putting pressure on the north. You can't afford to go for a crash, as well as on the south coast entirely in the warehouses. DXavier. Wolves going back and forth here. Lamborn needs a pickup now. Paragin has to put the pin back in to save his teammate. Will be able to start that one. And Nate moves forward, securing it. They are on the inside. They should be fairly safe, but will they be allowed to get this res? Because there's more threat from the Wolves around the corner, and that's going to be Levi's taken out in the midst of it all. DXavier having a tough time on this pro.
With Paragin going down, Lamborn going down their east players. There is a chance it does go down towards that south side. It's not
coming on through, but it is Regnum Kai to draw first blood. However, it's traded off. Flushes need to come through now, and Safi will be able to find it. Unfortunately, it is taken down in the process. Kevin on the outside, though, looking to try and hunt down more Regnum Kaya players here as he steps forwards to Loxy. Low HP on Zedwall. Not really step too far in, but with a shotgun to play against, you know it's probably not super likely that you are going to go down. Through the consistent spray. Regnum Kaya, however, go down to DRX on the approach, and that is going to be an overwhelming force from DRX. Actually managed to make it for the south side, so a last player alive for Ulf. In the meantime, Doc now has more arena players to worry about. 3 players actually taking shots out his way. You can see the rest of them trying to move through. He's forced out wide and taken down as soon as he moves. Sakura clocks him, and now Top has to try and find something in response because Doc is not getting back up.
Yeah, it's a good third party coming through from the arena. They noticed there was fighting going down on this side, but it seemed to be only 1 player. But RA currently in an engagement between them and Veep in the shack, climbing a nade of his own. It's a long toss on it, and big gamble, but doesn't hit on target.
Prestige down in the smoke has been spotted now. Voston keeps his head on the swivel, spots the player down in the dirt, and leaves Amori the last to stand for R8 across the road. And actually OG are moving in on that north side, so that could be a big problem in their very near future. I think Alpha Gaming did just go down arena, able to finish the job as the circle goes back towards the center of this.
The easier their end game is going to become, because again, as teams start to get crunched towards the center here, more and more fights are going to be taking place out in the open, and these are
not to take these shots. You just can't confirm the point. It's much more more valuable to play with the protection of Thunder Talk around you and try and play for it later.
Oh my.
He steps up and he wins that. Solos to their own devices, but that's going to be difficult because you've got Virtus Pro.
To assault their position. Hyunbin on the top stairs, looking for Icon right now.
In the meantime, the roll-up Virtus Pro is active, but it is going to be OG holding quite well. The reses, though, are starting to come through. There's the first flush coming in, and there is, unfortunately, the re-knocks coming in from... They're all sailing on in. Virtus Pro now have another team, and the vehicles swing around wildly. What is going on? OG, move in. Get these knocks. Get these points here, because Thunder Talk are moving
How
the
is
slivers of
OG not close enough?
Not going to be able to find retreat with that flash. That's going to allow Thunder Talk to disengage. Play on as 3 from here.
From Kara. Lewis does have a nade. Marceau sets himself up. It's a bit of a short lob, but he's on target. Soez gets knocked out with a nade to the forehead.
Listen with the swift underarm there. Nice little knockdown. Nearly getting Hyunbin. The pan coming in clutch there to stop the DX Xavier shots. The shots from across the way. Taking him down on the rooftop. A really difficult res to go for. To drop down was bad news. DRX have been able to get a lot of elims so far this match. It seems like they heard me call them a little bit cowardly last time around. They're already up to 10 here, Blank. They want to add 4 more to the tally. See if they can break records themselves as they move on forwards. The flash comes through. The nade goes through to the back. Hyunbin goes 1-for-1 on the trade. The DRX have the flash sent their way. Drops down in the middle. Lewis holding the back lines, and there's only the one player for DRX faced off against 2 on the inside.
Thunder Talk just rock straight up over towards DX Xavier and handle them. This is so weird from Thunder Talk, considering it's a very different style of gameplay from them we're used to seeing. Good nade from Nate T himself over towards Singh, leaving Thunder Talk, I believe, just on the final player now as OG remains stalwart on that north side.
They can get the reses in the shack for Thunder Talk, though. There are still 2 of those available. The question is, does DX Xavier have a nade? So Kara on this hold. Poser is down. But they're getting that red. Re-knock is strong. Going to keep Kara from overwhelming them on the repeats here. He goes in for more. He wants to find another. But there's his teammate going down. Lewis steps out, put into a shotgun. A barrel straight into his face. And Lewis goes down as well. They will finally take him down, but they lose. Nades being thrown out by Thunder Talk still.
It's good,
right, they got anything left, and they find an opening. You're kidding me. Thunder Talk just seem untouchable here. Nading Aru off the tree, doing a lot of damage. That's going to be unresable now. The rotate out wide. AKOD needs to stand tall. We'll be able to do one in a second as well. The double knockdown, but across the way, there's still a 3rd player for Thunder Talk going. It's all up for WizGod. It looked like OG might have had the game under control there, but Kara now with the numbers advantage.
I'm just so confused with what Thunder Talk's doing this game. Sighting sending it out again over towards OG. It's like a completely different type of Thunder Talk this game. Nate maybe going for the 1v3. CEO is able to put him down, fires him from the company, and at least will be able to remain up and present. WizGod moves up, and in the meantime was able to take down Thunder Talk. Now, it's a 1v1 technically, as the blue continues to push in.
I think they might be able to find 1 or 2, but the 3, I'm not sure. Marceau goes out, drops the smoke train towards it. They know exactly which rock he's on. As soon as they get in range, they don't have to nade either. Steps out, and that's a little sliver of HP taken away, and he doesn't have any meds to play with. This is nasty.
Big stun grenade. WizGod just has to hide it out for the time being. But it's looking close. Can WizGod close this down? It's looking slightly unlikely. Regardless, he has been through the war zone this game and will...
Alba Hills, now further in, you've got OG as well, actually very close, getting kind of intertwined with this rotation of Alpha 7. Tanky does nice shot, and it's obscure. There's 3 players. WizGod sending out as the scout. Over towards Kara though, and we know that they are on a bit of a tear. It is dangerous territory on the northwest side. We're going back over to the left, moving across the open ground. They managed to get through the first salvo of bullets, and they find the cover. Will they be able to survive long enough to regroup? There's already a knock. There's already a second as well. They desperately need to find some sort of cover, some sort of respite, but the shots are ringing out from every single direction around them. R8, Ares,
train apart, but GS are able to get onto the other side. Immediately pins need to be pulled here. GS Icon already finds Obscure in the backline. These first couple of nades have to be massive, and they absolutely are.
Revo and Guizao holding their nerve in the face of the approach from GS, but the first to fall is there. The second not so good though, and it's good. In the meantime, plenty of damage being done around these bridges, and R8 are going to be moving out on the south side.
Reckon it's actually a tough game to play. Difficult push down towards the south side to make this happen. All right, though, it's going straight for it. Xavier once again playing on as two players and making it work somehow. They are doing okay in the points, so now they're in top 7. This sort of needs to stop, right? The Xavier duo is Xavier doing well is when 2 of their other players are dead. It makes no sense, yet it is working. So, a bit of a self-made, but it gets the job done.
Not great.
It does get the job. It does take down Lemon, right? Bit of collateral damage on his side. Not sure how he took 99% and Lemon took 100.
That happens, you know.
Alpha Gaming still playing as 4, but it's a rough approach for them.
He doesn't have too many meds. Look at that. Only the 2 first aids. Doesn't want to overexpend himself. And needed to try and get a re-knock there. Levi's actually chiming in, but a nade bobbles its way over.
Shots towards them, and with Aragon down towards the south side, very unlikely VP gets back up into the picture.
Oh.
Good step up from DRX, jumping into the boat from Kagsei to get a separate, different angle. More shots from DXAV trying to weaken them as much as possible, soften them up for this initial nade that's going to come over the top here.
Xavier not really going to have sightlines on them for too much longer. The nades need to be on target now, because stepping up and over, you can have Ulf starting to take shots at you. APG maybe even from a distance. But DRX may have just done the answer.
They still have to hope for a southeast shift on this one, and then it's very likely to be a Mad Bulls win.
Certainly would seem now.
Easy push from QXZ, looking for a little more. Hyunbin around the side. Paragin's already down. Levi has a monumental task ahead of him.
They gave him too much trouble on the river crossing, and now they want their revenge. Kagsei moves on in, but is going to be taken down from the backline. QXZ able to get the final blow there. Irina from the rooftops, making it a little bit tricky, but that res definitely will be possible. The smoke just about to fade there. And they'll get Hyunbin back up. Kagsei moves in, stopping Irina, or trying to anyway.
This is rough. I mean, this is the exact circle that no one swing round the back of Arena and play off that. But yeah, it's a difficult push for them. Ulf sends a nade in and will find Pusher off the back of this one. Scarface looking for more though as he primes another grenade in the back pocket.
Oh, sends it longer, does tag on to Pusher, but Lemon sails in for the rescue to re-bolster their position. Just making sure that Ulf are a little bit slower on it. There's that second nade, that third nade coming in through as well. Flip. Looks to try and back off the angle. Lemon draws attention. The res is necessary here for Mad Bulls to make the move. Lemon doing a lot to distract here, but it seems like Scarface is dogging in his pursuit. The nades will not stay away, and Pusher is burnt out. But it was a little bit a step too far as Joker able to land the shots to Scarface.
That is devastating for Mad Bulls on this south side. Losing a play like that is really quite painful. Aaron's still up and available, taking some pod shots, but more nades pouring over the top as the arena starts to realize where they are. DRX down to just one player in QXZ as the rest of the team attempts to crawl back over towards him for some emergency triage. Doran finally falls in 5th place as Ulf remains up and in this game.
The arena trying to move through. Tony K goes down, and it's now just Joker remaining. DRX playing as a solo as well. If they don't get this res, a nade is being cooked now, and QXZ wants the shot, wants the shutdown, looks for Joker, goes a little bit long with it, but Mormon might not be long for it either. The nade in response, QXZ breaking out wide. In the meantime, the Mad Bulls are making moves too. Ulf in the fight too, and trying to stay alive in and amongst it. Mad Bulls now still have the numbers advantage. The nades, the Molotovs, putting pressure on Arena. But what's going on the south side, Blank? Who's going to be able to take control of that roadside?
QXZ looking for the full squad wipe over towards E-Arena. Joker on the low ground, starting to move up. Nade sent long, slightly off target though. Immediately sends another, lets it bubble through. He's just littering the ground with those mines. But is it enough right now? QXZ needs to step up, knows roughly the direction he's coming from. Turney K attempting to provide that information back from inside the bush. QXZ extremely low now, needs to step up soon, but Joker might just with this final nade.
In the meantime, Mad Bulls going toe-to-toe with the remnants of Ulf. They are 2 players standing. Tulika unlikely to get back up here, and they've got the angle. They step up around the side of the tree. The Mad Bulls were able to claim it from the ditch. Ulf could not hold them out. It looks like it might be a little bit ropey for a time there, but they play off one another beautifully. And the Mad Bulls reclaim their spot towards the top. You're looking fresh, looking hot towards that boundary. Gets fewer and fewer as time passes. Circle heads out to that northwest side of Pozzo, Montenuevo. The areas to the south of Crater Fields, well, they want to get a little bit closer, more stuck in, maybe over towards Thundertalk. Getting stuck in, though, is GS, as Alpha Gaming have 2 players on the hold. GS are top, maybe actually finding a shutdown.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot. You also have DX Xavier chiming in at a distance over towards a DS. 3, and I think that you have DX Xavier maybe able to carve out a little bit of land there. Yeah, that's an awkward one. You've really got to get 2 players up. And I think that the coordination has gone to pot here for GS just because of that outside sight line coming through from DX Xavier on this engagement.
The circle's going to pop as well very soon. Regnum Kaya have oversight on this as well as DX Xavier. This full
the game here starting in Montenuevo and now being able to send a little bit over towards the west. We've got a lot of unplayable terrain in this one over towards the western side that cuts out quite a bit of the circle itself. And you also have like that nasty terrain on the western side. An APG fudge because there is sightline from the eastern edge. But in terms of position to just play out the rest of the game,
themselves nice and tidy on it. Big, whoa, hang on a minute. He's all the way up the top there. I was wondering, he dropped off there, but no, he's climbed all. Just not really too many easy positions to try and take against it. The arena, they descended from the mountaintops and they're now to the man to try and slow them down. Lemon under a lot of pressure here. And the team sallies forth to go for the rescue. Kara chiming in too, and they're getting lit up for the arena.
Arena backed up that position and Mad Bulls will take the advantage on that one. Nades have to keep pouring through from the arena to keep Mad Bulls at bay, but there are shots from up on high. That's from the walls already, finding good value off of this position. Kara did send out 1 outpost towards a longhouse on their south side, and because this fight is taking place, they might be able to get the rest of the team towards there, which is a little bit more central, a little bit more playable for them as well, as opposed to those concretes on the northwest.
And there's about 5 teams in these cracks. And
you see there's this valley that cuts through the center of the circle. It's just really awkward to play. All finding 1 on the side of the map here. That's over towards R8 position. But because it's so messy on this side of the map, OG might be able to find themselves a little position or a little route to get through. We'll wait and see how they want to play that one out though. Alpha Gaming rolling, barrel rolling in towards Geeka and finding a knock to start things off.
that was stylish, okay. Looking for more as well. There's no re-knock found so far. But Yol and Top try to go in. Nah, it's under guard, under lock and key. You're not getting past them. Nurzed will be safe for now, but Reefus had more success on his angle, on his approach. APG down to just 1 player now. It is just Reefus alive for them on the roll-up. And will be able to get a house all to himself, and PK actually surviving as 3 here. Looking for the heals to come on through. Excellent work to hold that one down. Nurzed thought he was gonna, but no, he had a savior. Ragnarok, though, wants to try and force his team to save another person as he charges in on his own.
Yeah, it's just another curious crash with really no setup whatsoever other than the barrel roll, I suppose you could call it. And I think APG is just trying to win out of there.
Going to be a tough task. DX Xavier, they are holding this south ridge really, really well. They will have oversight onto that Thundertalk position. The approach is on every other angle, though. Incredibly. Patch-up could have been successful, but in the meantime, Ulfa crashing in. There's about 8 teams up here blanking in the mountains. Regnum Kaya are going to be overlooking at them all. They're going to have shots at maybe a few. Really rough time of it. Survival, the name of the game. With 13 teams remaining, I mean, we're getting in towards the sort of zones that you expect a lot fewer teams to be in existence here. OG are making their ascent, though, against DX Xavier, trying to find an opening. Shot. That's what they were looking for from Lambo. He will fall down. AKOP able to land that shot, tag it on. A Tanky moving up as well, but the Blue Zone's putting pressure on. They're playing around these smokes quite well. Paragin has to be backed off the angle, and AKOP doing a lot of work. Heavy lifting coming on him, but his teammates have fallen around him, and it is going to be so much harder now to make this ascent. Fortunately, the reses need to come through for DX Xavier, and they're allowing him to move on the back line. AT expecting their pound of flesh from DX Xavier.
Yeah, it's a tough rotate. It's a tough rotate to make, and I think for OG, they were banking on this being a southeast shift. And I mean, that's a very strong position if that's the case, but pushing up on that hillside, so hard. For Regnum Kaya, though, it's an easy game for them. Honestly, it depends how Kara plays out this end game, but I think for Regnum Kaya, this is kind of an easy pickup overall, just taking more and more shots to the outside chances. They have the hope that it actually shifts away from them on the north side, but that's purely to pull players off from the north.
A 2v3? Over towards Thunder Talk? Okay. Geek dominating. They got 5 elims. Why not have a little bit of a late game resurgence? What more can you do with these 2 players remaining? That was a team that went down. Ugh. The maths keeps getting harder, by the way. Not a lot of players per team.
DRX make their way into the top 7 with that. To 62 points now on the game, but are able to handle EK. They take a lot of casualties for it. VP similarly also on the chase here, down towards the south side of the map as the final player from DX Xavier finally makes his way back into the moment, but Kara is just taking names left, right, and center.
I mean, you say that, but now it's just down to Pusher. Tourniquet on a sliver of HP, stays alive in the smoke. On the off angle, the Ulf player could be big here against Poser. Has to fall back, look for these reses. On the top side as well, you've got Mad Bulls to worry about. The player there, Tulika, could take a crack at it. CEO has to hold for the rest of his team. I think he knows that Tulika's there. That'll keep them safe, but Tourniquet's on the hunt. He's moving in with a bumpy. Needed assist from the top rope, but CEO has to hit the deck. That's going to give the game away on the push, however, and Kara can hold firm. Tourniquet want to keep their players in check. CEO still seemingly having sightlines there. Ketch now the last solo player on that north side, the remnants of that hilltop struggle. Higgles as well was able to get out of there earlier for the Wolves and surviving as a solo. A real tough time on this northern edge. And Regnum Kaya, I mean, they haven't got too many elims for it though, Black. That's not enough of a reward. They want more.
Yeah, they basically need to get first place from this position, and it is a first place position to nade over the top. Quick pop was a little bit dangerous for them to actually try and get Milky Way back up again as the circle was going to enclose, but I think they just about get a player back into position, but Voston immediately taken down, Milky Way flushed by Silas, and Kara's just sending it, dude.
All right, 2 players straight across the field. Lewis leaves his teammate out in the open, will go down himself. Kara, they're not going to do too well on that rotate. Player from First Pro did go down in the process. Voston has been knocked, but yeah, I don't think Kara are going to get too much value from this one. They've already extracted a lot of points from this lobby. However, they are stepping pretty close to being in contest with Thunder Talk, which is really saying something.
Yeah, it's some real lobby annihilation coming through from Kara at the moment, leaving Poser and CEO alive. And again, I really did respect the rollout there. It's a very hard one to pull off, but if they're able to take down the 2 players, I think they pretty sure are inside of that shack. And then they take a formidable location that can maybe challenge up against Regnum Kaya. So it's a risk that realistically they have to take here if they want to go for the chicken dinner, which is, I like that. The fact that they're thinking towards the chicken dinner is amazing. That nade is disgustingly on target.
Smokes, but maybe a little bit thinner on the nades. They've only got a couple of players to handle, 4 players total. CEO spotted, challenges on the spray down, needs to be bold with it. The CEO sticks the landing on that. Unfortunately, there's the trade, and there's the nade from the off angles. Only 1 for the price of 2, and Zedwolf may be resable even still by Loxy and maintain this rooftop. It is still an open door for quite a few teams. Regnum Kaya maybe just about squeaking in by the skin of their teeth here, but Virtus Pro, their games were a real struggle for them, but they managed to get all 4 players in. This hold has been difficult. Malloy going down is going to make this close down nigh on impossible for Virtus Pro. It is a 1v4 now for Aragon, unless he spends the time to get Malloy back up. But those nades now starting to run dry. Zedwolf breaking out wide. They've got all the angles they could possibly wish for, and it is going to be a swift little peek. Absolutely brilliant stuff. It's good to see them.
Tidy finish from Regnum Kaya 2 versus the remnants of Kara as well as Virtus Pro.
Oh, hang on.
It's not hot.
I don't think it's
very close.
Okay, yeah, no, it is going to be a full hot drop here between APG and OG. Body armor as well for Ziol, and he's moving out, trying to get an angle here. Needs to be careful, though. Always go down to a long shot. Like there is a long barrel. Maybe sent his way, or is that Pumpy off in the distance coming on through? Maybe a little bit less of a danger. No, it is. Okay, it is the M24. It's coming back. It's pretty for the off angle. In which case, Top's doing a great job to stay outside. It's like, you know, like when a cat's like finding the perfect place to sit. Oh, hang on a minute. We'll shoot back in with that in a second. With my opinions on cats. There's the shot down for Doc. It's going to be a big pickup onto a tanky. And he's not going to go much further. Same for WizGod. APG winning this fight. Ooh, this is nasty stuff coming on through. Kind of opening a broadside. Top now steps out of the trees like, right, okay, you guys having fun. I want fun too. For them. That off angle. Yeah, Aru is leaving this one. AKOP now left. A lone soldier here with the UMP, waiting for someone to step a little bit too close, get a little bit too bold. He's watching their corner. The nades are cooking as well in the off angles. He's dropping down. He's read into it. He thinks he wants a little bit more. Reposition away. Does bait the nade in. And that might be useful here. Top on the off angle. You still have to worry about it. You can see AKOP going for that little stutter peek. Can't afford a second though. Nose is being washed.
Going for that shot. I mean, I respect it. He's in the window. He's in the window. Very low HP. Will take down one for his efforts. And a little bit of vindication coming through for AKOP there.
He was able to get that
full
1 point.
revenge.
Yeah.
Masoa's getting lit up here. I do love how the M2... I don't mind this spot coming through from Dick Xavier. Gonna rotate on this northeast side. They do have competition here either though. R8's been fairly quiet today, but taking fantastic shots over towards Regnum Kaya, finding a double on the crossing. Martha's just been a monster all day. Real Martian.
Around the corner and connects with Malloy this time. Recurrent flip on the inside, burns the top window, but it's the other one you need to worry about. Voston still ducks away from it and stays alive for a little longer.
It's a nasty nade you can get out from this backward window. Voston's looking to send one back here on that side, gets a little bit of damage done. Flip now looking to get that nade out the side, but VP very aware of this one right now. Now fall into that. I think he's a little bit impatient on his push, could have waited for some of the attention to be taken away, and for VP, it's kind of been the thing that slowed them down. Concerning themselves with getting Malloy back up into picture. Good jump out from Milky Way, takes down Tulica. Immediately flips back down the stairs, leaving just one player alive for Virtus Pro in Aragon.
He will go for the spray down, connect on the first. That's the play zone actually coming in clutch there. And the drop down leaves Mad Bulls again, just on the one player. Lemon now on the off angle versus Aragon.
Or the Wolves, not quite placement point range yet, but a 6 point game terrible for the Wolves right now. But they would like some more icon moves in and leaves down wild. Down to the Maestro himself in Loxy.
This is good. Roll into water treatment. They want to sit themselves. Oh.
This is a good chance for that. I thought I was down and out earlier when we saw them take down Regnum Kaya, but then have a tough time. That is a bad nade from ESO. Self-nade on the team is never pretty to see. Jafar around the corner, though, will take down two. Now leaves just Prestige up. Jafar.
Nade cooking, looking to get those flushes on board. Jafar, pressure back, able to confirm one. Pops out the window, slick with it. Now, what is the outside player for R8? He's still picking up those points, and Jafar's being naughty here. Needs to be put on the set. Ida catches him jumping in, but doesn't connect. Jafar with another. Oh my goodness me. Looking to go for a 1v4. He's put himself into the 1v1 now against Prestige. Jafar, the last player for GS, looking to survive. Has the door frame. Prestige nearly got to connect onto by the DBS shot there. 2 rounds left in the chamber. A first aid now being popped. Prestige can't quite find the nerve to step in through the door frame, and I don't blame him. He's taken down everybody else. Looks for another. Has to reload.
What it is, he is really showing his weight in gold here for Alpha 7 throughout these. They've not had the best one of it, but he is certainly keeping them in the running.
He's pushing up, looks for land ball, not going to connect in response either, has to fade away. To Prestige has a little bit more to give. Harrigan is both pushing.
Dave almost, right, he may have been Jafar, but the spread to the tables, the Xavier is able to find at least one over their way, but should be short order before that's picked up again. But it does give a small chance for Xavier to... They're taking a 2v4, of course they are. I don't know why I thought they would be trying to do anything different.
Okay, he's pulled out. That's a rest.
It's like Xavier has no limits. They just have no limits. Like, we're going to go for a 2v4, sure, and I'm going to drive in and do a flyby. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it makes no sense. Anyway, Kara, Alpha 7 going head to head, but Revel already being down. They need badly.
Able to tag onto Marceau. You'd hope he was laid very still on the deck. And then knock as well. Alpha 7 finally stopping Kara where nobody else could. There's a nade, there's a follow-up. The spray downs are good, but now 2 players to 2v3. Kara wanted to try and answer. He's out actually fairly isolated here. The next circle does close center. The next circle does close center. Warrior CEO spots Obscure on the off angle. There's not a really forced presence from Alpha 7 towards CEO, and they're right on the edge of the blue zone. That's what they needed. Obscure on the Mini 14 at distance. Give him Lewis next, see what he could do.
It's a good swing up from him to finish off our day today. Lewis behind the loot crate, but the only loot here is going to be the chicken dinner for Alpha 7. When Obscure will finish this off, is the final blow from that team. But a nice relief.
Compound doesn't mean you just have to sit in it. You can do the business from there. Underdog's still top of the leaderboard. Kara, even with that big last